Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922 doing something a little different with doing videos with my iPad over here, my brother's desk. Let's get into it. Fairy Tale chapter review. What was it again? 275. My iPad pod. The Drunk Falcon. Basically, this is after day one. Everybody's exhausted. You know, they're having a good time. Lucy and Gray are obviously not there for other reasons because they lost. Interesting, the first page has Makarov and Mavis on the bottom, and she says, "And you said he was strong. Don't worry, we'll get him back." He was saying that. And then we got Kana, and Kana's like talking shit already. She's like so pathetic. We've lined up everyone in Fairy Tale, and what losers you all are. And then you get in here and says, I was watching the bars. Someone who's too busy touring the bars around and I was watching all the bars. And then Margaret says, to the toast! They decided to do a toast for our crushing defeat. Makarov, so silly. And we move on, and then it says Natsu is saying that, you know, I'm all fired up, and he's just going to do something. It's going to be my turn tomorrow. I'll definitely turn things around. And then Gaju's saying, oh, if Silent is coming up, I might as well too. You know, get going. And then you get an interesting thing at the bottom saying that, oh, where's Gray and Lucy? And he said, they're not here. You know, saying, well, both of them lost like that. So, way they lost. And you get this interesting picture of Juvia looking concerned at the bottom of the page. And she's seeing you see the hotel they're at? Gray and but Juvia's imagining this. This is not actually happening. She's imagining this. And he says, still feeling down? You want to talk, Gray? And then, by a bar nearby, let's go. Don't leave me alone. Lucy, I really like you. This is like this interest, but like I said, this is not happening. This is all Julia's imagination. The next page we see Julia's like, oh, I can't believe like that happens. No way. And then Gray's like, no way that would happen. And then basically Makarov's there and he says, today's defeat is the seed of tomorrow's victory. Yeah, you know, like, what are you doing? We'll rise up and show them, and all will win. We won't give up. Our goal is number one fury. Yes! We'll give it shit anyway. Anyway, that's how things on that side end. Pretty much. And everybody's hyped up, blah, blah, blah. And Urza sees Mystigan outside, you know, GL, and he leaves. And we get this interesting. Now we're getting something good. The guy that I humbly inquire whether you have any requests. That's right. I want to see Sting and Roll, but I'll leave that for later. This is the King of Fiori talking to that guy. Remember the guy with the square nose? He's talking to him about it. And he says that I want to see Botches. Of course, we don't know who Botches is at this point. You do find out at the end of the chapter. Botches, he begins, from Fairy Tale, the one that transforms. In all honesty, he's probably talking about Elfman. So, it actually can go either way. It could be rather Elfman or Mira Jane, who this guy is going to fight Botches. So, that'll definitely be a quality match. You've worked hard, Night Squadron Chief. He's this guy with the square nose. He's the Night Squadron Chief. And he says you work hard, rest well. So, he's leaving the castle. And then we get this eerie look page with him. He says, I don't have the luxury of having time to rest, Your Majesty. After all, soon that will be complete. We have no idea what that is, but Okay, and time for what is the nook and cranny of the chapter. We're left with that, and we move on. He says, "Who's up next? I'll give you the best shot." And then, you get this interesting scene between Natsu, Gajil, and Laxus, and he's like, he said, "I'll be your opponent. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. If it's you or Natsu, it won't be for fun anymore." Laxus says, "Oh, you've become such a priest-loving guy, Laxus." Gajil, please stop. Bastard, you're free. Oh, bullshit. Really? Just all they're doing is partying hard. That's all they're doing. They're really doing in this chapter. Until we get this weird-looking guy, and he says, "Why don't you try competing with me?" Kana competing with this guy. And says, "Don't stop it. You don't know. It's Kana." Kana passes out from drinking, which is shocking. He says, "No way! Oh, seriously? Kana lost in a drinking match?" Everybody's like shocked. And then we find out, are we taking this as a trophy? He takes her bra. It's like, what? And then he falls down, kind of, and he hits these guys. Texts Makaro and this other guy. And then, if it isn't Urza, and then we find out here that this guy is from Quattro Cerberus. Because he was talking to Urza, and says it's been a long time, blah, blah, blah. And she says he's all fired up. If we should happen to meet tomorrow or after, we'll settle things for good. Always well, huh? And we move on, and Urza's basically explaining to everyone that was the drunk falcon botches of the drunk chop hanging fist. It's basically a combination of I think it's written here, of Chinese drunken fighting style and Chinese wushu Paquan style. That's a whole bit of that. And then Lucy's like on par with Urza. And that's basically what happened in there. And Urza's realizing now that things are going to get tough. And that's when we get to the meat and potatoes of the chapter, after we've examined everything that's been going on. The really thing is, I'm giving this a 3.5 out of 5, and I'll tell you why. The guy of the night group that serves the King of Fury, that scene, and the ending scene. So basically, we are now left with Charlotte, and she's talking to Polyostica, and she says, "Can you tell me what you saw?" That's like always, it's fragmented. She's saying it's fragmented. A white knight, an enormous magical aware. What else? An unbelievable scene. And what was that? And then we get something really eerie. And this is what Charlotte said. Mercurius collapsing. I can't even say this word right. Mercurius. I think that's how you say it. Mercurius. It's the name of the castle that King Fiore lives. Is collapsing. And it says, soon the unbelievable, hopeless future will. And it says, and within that, singing something, Lucy. And then it says, continued in chapter 276, Chariot. And that's how it ended. Pretty interesting stuff, my friends. Pretty interesting stuff. But like I said, I give it a 3.5 out of 5. Nothing really happened. This was after day one. After day one, you know the story. Wow. Pretty interesting stuff happening here. We have to wait and see. But I will say this. That ending, remember the discussion video I did about Lucy's mother? I don't know. Maybe I'm on the money on this. Well, that's still too far to say. But it is stated here that I can tell you right from the beginning, right now, at this point, Lucy's involved. Something, whatever happens, Lucy's involved in some way. And we already seen from last week's chapter the letter from Levy to Lucy. This is just a prediction, but I want to say that maybe what happens is that Lucy protects everybody in Fairy Tale, have them escape, but she is unable to. So, who knows? This is pretty interesting stuff. I didn't really look at King of Lightning's review yet, but this one looked pretty interesting. I liked what I saw. This is just, he's thickening it up, Hero. He's just making it better. Every week now is like, what are we getting from Hero? Hero is doing a great job. I mean, this was a lackluster chapter, but even though it was, we still got some good info. Great info. Holy shit. But we'll have to see later on. It looks like Elfman is going to fight Botches. From that conversation the king had with that night guy, he's going to fight Botches. Because, in all honesty, it's rather him or it's Mira Jane. Because those are the only two who can transform their own bodies. I mean, unless it is Urza. It might be Urza. Transforming. We'll have to see. So, as far as I can tell, those are probably going to be the three that are going to, one of those three are going to fight Botches. And we just saw the confrontation Urza had with Botches. So, Chus. So, should be interesting. Alright, that's all there's to it. BonCon 922, see you guys later. And remember, next week, Fairy Tail Part 4 comes out. So look up for that. Surprisingly enough, there's a marathon on ABC Family of Harry Potter. And I'm noticing how there are a few things in Fairy Tail that you would also see in Harry Potter. Dragons, telling predictions, telling the future. With Charlotte, and there's another person. I think there's a professor in Harry Potter who does that. Tell the future. Predict the future. So, yeah. But anyway, that's all there's to it. Good chapter. I like what I saw. Check you guys later. Comments below. What do you think about Lucy's involvement? See you guys later.